The Carriacou Museum was founded in 1976 and has occupied 3 locations in Hillsborough before settling into its present location in 1989. Clemencia Alexander, who has been the curator at the museum for 42 years, spoke of what can be found at the museum.
We have the Amerindian display where you talk about the Arawaks and the Carib. Then we have the European. Then we have the history on the African section. And then we have some display on the culture, the different culture like the big drum, the English quadrille. And then inside this room we have the display on the Grenada history. The upper floor have the display on my father's painting. All the culture like the regatta, the boat launching, the big drum, the quadrille, the kite flying, the picking up the cotton, the Shakespeare mass, and
She notes visitors are most interested in various artifacts found on the island and is happy upon receiving a tour of the museum.
They like to see all the artifacts that we found from the Amerindian. It's so amazing for them to see all these bits and pieces displayed, and so long it was under the ground, and it's so clean and nice and is well painted. And then a tour. When you give them a tour, when they leave here, they feel so happy. They wish to come back and to tell friends about it.
Here is a small look at some of what can be found inside the museum.
This well casing was discovered in Harveyvale at Constant Springs Guest House. They was digging a cistern hole and this series of pots were found. All the bottom of the pot was out and this is how it was placed one on top of each other. From the 4th pot, water starts springing. The well can still be seen at Harveyvale at Constant Springs Guest House. The water is used for washing, drinking, and cooking, and it's about 50 feet from the sea to the land. The first pot was discovered as the Amerindian Arawaks because they were here first with their feet the pot, and then the Carib came after and feet above. It's 580 to 1080. These are things you can touch. Those are Adonis heads of handles of the pots. That's a monkey Adonis. That's a small stone axe. That's a bat Adonis. This is used for sharpening their tools. It's a stone, an iron stone. And this is a griddle. And this is the finger that when the clay is wet, they press it as their decoration. Then you have stone axes used for digging inside the canoe, and we have a canoe on the ground there. What they would do, they would cut the tree down, which is the gommier, bunt inside it and dig it out so they can have a boat. This is one of our small canoe that was built in Dominica. These are jasper stones, spinning wheel, and for weaving, like the cotton that you can make thread for designing. This here is the leg of a griddle, and that's the griddle for baking the cassava cake. These are scrapers made from the wheels and the lambi shell, and it's used for scraping the fish or the cassava, or they use it to take out the fish gut. These are incense burner, and it's used for burning bushes to keep away mosquitoes and sandflies, things like castor oil seed, black sage leaves, and so on. The old switchboard, these are the 2 old phones, first 2 old phones, and these are new. When the calls come in, it would ring and they would plug you in because the numbers and them are there. The map 1758 is written in German language and also in English. The plates were used, like when they have in Maroon or Saraka, they use one plate, one platter. We call them platter. You have blue and white, you have green and white, you have plain white. So all these bits and pieces were found on the island, and these were donated to us.
Where the museum is located presently was the old cotton ginnery. Parts from the ginnery are still visible.
And that's the scale for weighing the big bales of cotton to send to Trinidad. That's the engine, and that's the boiler for the sugar.
Canute Callis, the father of Miss Alexander, was a self-taught painter and violinist. She showed us some of his paintings.
palm tree. The plane is going in. The hotel playing cricket in Barbados, the Empire State Building where my father went 7 times, the White House. He and the old Bush was friends, and he also has pictures in the White House. The picking of the cotton. This building downstairs used to be the old cotton ginnery. It was built in 1825 and closed in 1979. The flying of the kite at Easter time. It has a competition, and who fly the highest kite get a prize. The casting of the seine, the whale, they used to do whale in here, but then after, when they're going up to Bakeway, that's when they hold them, but they make the young around here. The monster is something that scares you.
Miss Alexander urged persons to visit the museum as there is a lot to learn.
The visitors, when they is in Carriacou and our local, please visit the Carriacou Museum. You can learn a lot, you can know a lot, because all the artifacts that is downstairs. Looking at it myself, would have never know all these bits and pieces was under the ground. Come and see what we found under the ground in Carriacou that was there for years and years, and see how nice it is still. You can learn a lot. You get a nice tour of the museum. When you leave here, you would enjoy yourself. You can tell friends to come in. You can relax. The building itself sends the history to the visitors.
Persons having anything they would like to donate to the museum can do so, as it would be on display.